Why the sky is purple?
Residents across Indonesia were left speechless when the sky above them suddenly shifted into a deep, vivid shade of purple. Most people were swept up in the sheer beauty of it, with hardly anyone pausing to ask what was actually causing it. As striking as it looks, science does have an answer. This kind of coloration tends to show up in the aftermath of intense storms, when the air is still thick with moisture and suspended particles. As the sun dips toward the horizon, red and blue wavelengths get scattered through all of that atmospheric debris and merge together, producing that eerie, violet-tinged hue. It sounds like something from another world, but what you're actually witnessing is one of the rarest and most breathtaking phenomena nature has to offer. This next clip was submitted by a viewer named Nia22, who explains that she captured this footage all the way back in 2014. She says she started recording immediately, wanting to have evidence ready for anyone who might doubt what she was witnessing. During a stay at her grandmother's place, Grandma's dog Coco started fixating on the ceiling for no apparent reason. There was absolutely nothing up there to look at. The dog just kept gazing upward before eventually retreating beneath the bed. As it turns out, Coco had been focused on 2 ribbons hanging from the ceiling fan, one of which appeared to be moving on its own. And then, without warning, something occurs that sends everyone in the room into a panic.
Here's my old phone, just to prove that it's not.
What you're about to see is Nia's original recording.
Did that boy text you yet? No, look. Coco can tell something's wrong. Do you see that? Oh, the ribbon. Coco. Coco. What you doing down here? Bye, Coco. Bye, Coco. The f... What?
Both Nia and her cousin scramble out of bed in a rush, convinced at first that an earthquake must be responsible, until they realize that absolutely nothing else in the room is moving. If there was no disturbance beneath the bed or anywhere nearby to account for the shaking, what could have caused it? According to Nia, Coco had wriggled out from under the bed at that point as though she could feel that something was off.
Bye, Coco. Bye.
Much like other clips where dogs appear to react to things invisible to human eyes, this footage seems to point towards something that defies easy explanation. Maybe the ribbon itself wasn't what had captured Coco's attention. Maybe it was whatever force was making it move. Had the dog picked up on something connected to the rattling bed frame, or was there yet another factor entirely? As Nia herself puts it, Coco may be the only one who truly knows. A young woman who goes by Brianna posted a chilling video to her TikTok page, Bree Dive. The majority of what she shares centers on her passion for freediving in the beautiful, crystal clear waters along Florida's coastline. Her content is usually pretty unremarkable, except for one particular upload. On what started as an ordinary dive, Brianna headed out into the water and ended up capturing something that's hard to shake. Beneath the surface, she suddenly starts to freak out. Piercing, haunting wails echo through the water around her, almost like someone desperately crying out for help. Visibly rattled, she shoots back up to the surface, struggling to process what she'd just experienced. After collecting herself for a moment, she descends again, intent on getting to the bottom of it, but this time, the water is completely silent. Shaken and bewildered, Brianna decides to post the mysterious, unexplained footage on TikTok. Predictably, a wave of commenters immediately accused her of dubbing in fake sound effects, so she fired back with a follow-up video, this one showing the untouched, unaltered footage pulled directly from her GoPro.
So, people are asking what camera I use. GoPro 7 works perfectly fine for me. I cracked it a little bit, but I use a case. Definitely not a voiceover though, so I'm going to show you the video straight out of my GoPro. Just like how I recorded it. So you can hear. Voiceover or an edit or anything like that, so.
In that original recording, she can be spotted swimming through what looks like the remnants of a sunken vessel. Some of her followers have suggested she may have picked up the final, ghostly cries of a soul who died in that very wreck. Whether there's a paranormal explanation or not, one thing nobody can argue: those screams from the deep are absolutely haunting. July 2023. Somewhere deep in the Scottish wilderness, a solo camper who goes by the name Under the Weather set out searching for peace and quiet. He'd pitched his tent between two mountain peaks, a spot he considered naturally fortified, with streams running along both flanks. As night crept in, so did a feeling of safety, one that wouldn't hold for long.
Got a fire going, cooked up some chicken wings, I hope, and going to cook with alcohol for the first time, so stay around and see how that goes. And that should be it, so let's have some fun. Let's check it out. Well, as you can see, it's pretty wet, so...
Once he'd settled in for the night, the stillness was shattered by something deeply unsettling. Faint at first, then impossible to dismiss. The sound of something moving, followed by soft, breathy noises that bore a disturbing resemblance to laughter. He called out into the dark and got nothing back. His anxiety spiked fast as he grabbed a knife and forced himself to look outside. The flashlight swept across the blackness. Not a soul in sight, and yet, the dread didn't lift.
Hello? 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 Now the thing is, I'm kind of on an island here, so there's river on that side, river on that side. It's very hard to get down here if it's a human, that is. Hello? Typical, now I can't hear a thing. Right, I'll turn the light off. I've got a knife in here. I've got a knife. I've got a knife. Right. Well, that definitely sounded like somebody there. But,
What made it truly unnerving wasn't just the noise itself, but the logic of the situation. To reach him, anything or anyone would have had to cross the water on either side. That geographical reality made the whole thing feel even more sinister. If it wasn't some animal, what exactly had gotten through? Rather than stepping out to investigate, he stayed put, white-knuckling the knife until morning. When daylight finally came and he cautiously stepped outside, what he discovered nearby only deepened the mystery. Disturbed earth and strange objects arranged close to his campsite, as though someone had been lurking there, watching him the whole time.
well, because as I said, I'm basically on an island, so there's no way that anyone could actually get it. Jesus Christ! Hello? 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 Jesus Christ! Fuck that. Hello? Heard that noise again. It sounds like somebody laughing outside, but I have no idea. Huh, unless it's the kelpies. Oh.
He described the sounds as veering into something almost hysterical, laughter-like, mixed with splashing and footsteps. Whether it was an auditory trick or something deliberate, it clearly left a mark on him. The comment section weighed in with their own theories. One viewer suggested it could have been a wild boar, offering a rational out, but plenty of others weren't buying it. This wasn't simply a bad night in the wilderness. It was a brush with something that had no clean explanation. Under the weather made it home in one piece, but he walked away carrying more questions than answers. And one unsettling truth. Out in the woods, solitude is never quite as guaranteed as you'd like to believe. Johan Podketer, a seasoned spear fisherman, slipped beneath the surface off the coast of Cape Town, South Africa, fully expecting an ordinary day underwater. What awaited him instead felt like something conjured from the darkest corners of imagination. The dive began quietly enough, still, peaceful, filled with nothing more than the sound of his own breathing and the faint murmur of the ocean. Then, without any warning, something appeared. A great white shark, noiseless and abrupt, materialized out of the darkness like a phantom. Johan, carrying nothing more than a spear and raw instinct, aimed it directly at the approaching predator. The shark dropped its fins, an unmistakable warning sign, locking onto him with a terrifying, calculated focus. What came next was somehow even worse.
White! Pas op vir die white! Hy het my amper gevreet.
The shark executed a full 180-degree turn and launched into a high-speed charge. The entire ocean seemed to go still around him. His camera never stopped recording, capturing every heart-stopping second as the creature bore down on him. Then, at the very last instant, it banked away and vanished just as abruptly as it had first appeared. Johan drifted back, completely breathless. He walked away without a scratch, but that footage speaks for itself. A chilling reminder of just how quickly tranquility can collapse into sheer terror the moment you realize you're not the apex predator in those waters. It's staggering how completely everything can change in a matter of minutes. In the next story, a woman by the name of Simone was taking a walk near the woods when she stumbles upon something unexpected.
It's creepy as out here, I'm not gonna lie. I really... hold on. Why is there a camera in the woods? Oh, that covered in blood?
Out there among the trees, Simone comes across a camera that looks like it has blood on it. Intrigued, she moves in for a closer inspection and realizes the device still has some charge remaining.
I'm gonna believe this. I just found a camera out here with something that looks like it could be blood on it. I have no idea, but I think there's still some battery on it, so they're
Unable to resist her curiosity, she brings the camera back home, charges it up, and discovers 3 video files stored on it. She pulls up the first one, and what it captured is genuinely unsettling. Pay close attention. As the footage pans left, a dark silhouette becomes visible lurking behind a tree, seemingly watching whoever was filming, before slipping out of frame. Simone then mentions that the second video disturbed her so deeply that she isn't ready to share it yet, but not long after bringing that camera home and watching the footage, strange things begin occurring around her house, and she started to feel as though someone is trailing her wherever she goes.
It's been months. It's been months and I haven't been able to tell anyone. I haven't been able to post anything since I found those videos. Weird things have been happening to me and I don't know what's going on. I'm so scared. I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
She begins suffering from nightmares involving the shadowy figure and wakes up believing she can see it standing in her bedroom, prompting her to post an update asking for help.
I keep having nightmares since I saw the first video. I close my eyes and I still see that shadow. And it haunts me. And just when I think I can get away and I open my eyes, it's there in my bedroom, right in front of me on my bed. Please help.
The very next night, she's sound asleep when a sudden jarring noise jolts her awake, and she manages to record what follows.
It's the middle of the night and I just got woke up again. It's coming for me. It's in my house. The noises are coming from the kitchen. Listen. That's the noise that wakes me up every night. It gets me. It wakes me up in my dreams. It wakes me up.
Banging sounds can be heard coming from the direction of her kitchen while she was trying to get some rest. Paralyzed with fear, she waits for the noise to die down, but eventually works up enough nerve to crack the door open and see what's out there, and what she spots stops her cold.
You see that? There's a shadow in the corner of the kitchen. I know I'm not seeing things. I know I'm not.
There in the corner of the kitchen, a dark, shadowy shape stands completely motionless, seemingly pressed into the corner as if trying to conceal itself. A few nights pass, and then she sees it again.
What is that? What is that in the corner? I think it's moving around my...
The figure is visible once more, lurking just behind the wall in the dead of night. A few nights after that it comes back, but this time the episode lasts considerably longer and feels far more aggressive.
Noise. It's been like this all night. I can't make it stop. And when I get up and check the door, there's no one there. Oh my god, I'm fucking terrified. Go away. Go away. I don't know how to make it stop. I don't know how to make them go away.
Too frightened to open the door this time, she stays in bed, convinced that things are rapidly escalating. And she's not wrong, because just a few days later, while alone at home, something else happens.
Do you guys hear that? No one is home. My sister left for the whole weekend. Who is that? Who is that?
She begins hearing what sounds like her sister's voice calling Arshon out to her, despite no one else being in the house. Shortly after, she hears what seems to be her mother's voice as well.
It's getting worse, and I haven't been able to tell anyone or go anywhere because I don't have anywhere to go, and I don't have anyone who's believing me. At first, it was my sister, but now I hear my mom. And she doesn't live here. She lives on the other side of the country, and I just called her, and she's in her own home. She's not here right now. So who is that? I've gone through the whole entire apartment. There is no one else here but me.
A number of viewers warn her that what she's dealing with is a mimic, an entity capable of replicating the voices of her loved ones. Following these events, she posts an update detailing everything that's been going on.
Since I started making these videos, the entity, it's been changing, been morphing into different things, scaring me in different ways. At first I thought it was all in my head, but it's changed into shadows, into different people, into voices, and it's just completely taking over my life. Like, I see no way out of this at all. I don't know what to do anymore.
Several viewers have noted that a dark shape hovering above her head appears to be the same figure that's been watching her, though it's difficult to say for certain. A few days later, something disturbs her once again.
It's back again tonight. Who is it? What do you want?
The door slowly begins to swing open on its own, but when she goes to investigate, not a soul is there. Then, a few days after that, on December 27th, 2025, she steps out of her apartment and heads toward her car. And that's when her camera picks up something that will make your skin crawl.
I was just walking out of my apartment. And look. You see that? You see that shadow? It's following me.
A dark figure is visible just standing there behind Simone's vehicle, seemingly waiting for her to get closer. Fortunately, she spotted it in time and fled back inside. Since that night, she says the presence has been following her everywhere and the situation is still unfolding. Many viewers believe that whoever originally owned that camera had this entity attached to them, and by picking it up, Simone unknowingly inherited it. Hopefully she finds the courage to release those other 2 videos from the camera, but for now, this whole ordeal remains deeply unresolved. Hiro and Tomo are the duo behind Omagatoki Film, a Japanese YouTube channel devoted exclusively to ghost hunting and exploring some of the most haunted spots throughout Japan. This time around, they decided to take on something genuinely daring, spending a full night camping inside the notorious Inunnaki tunnel. Before we get into it, here's a little background on why this place has such a dark reputation. Situated in Fukuoka Prefecture, Inunnaki Tunnel is far from your typical creepy landmark. It was originally constructed to provide access to Inunnaki Village, but the project came at a cost. Multiple workers lost their lives in accidents during its construction. Even after it was shut down in 1975 following the opening of a newer tunnel, reports of ghostly encounters in both tunnels kept coming in from visitors. And then there's the darkest chapter of all, a horrific crime committed in 1988, when a gang of teenagers brutally attacked and murdered a young boy within its walls.
もう2時超えてるんですけど、ちょっとね、もう疲れちゃったんで、早速、宿の中に入ってテントを張りたいと思います。じゃあ、ちょっと宿に中入りましょうか。ちょっと入りづらいんですけど、気にしないでいただいて。入っちゃいますか。入りましょう。
The two set their tent up right in the heart of the tunnel, and almost immediately, something felt wrong. As they ventured deeper inside, an unsettling sound began to reach their ears.
ちょっと一回電気消してみます。一回ちょっとこれか。ちょっと一回。ちょ声聞こえた今。聞こえなかった今。声聞こえなかった。いやわかんないなんか女の声。ちょっと戻ろう。ちょっと今女の声聞こえた。今ちょっと僕以外聞こえなかったみたいですけど。
Hiro clearly picked up on a female voice saying something chilling, though Tomo failed to hear it at first. They hurried back to the tent, telling themselves it was probably just dripping water or acoustic echoes bouncing off the walls. But neither of them truly believed that. Something else was sharing that tunnel with them, and they knew it. Back at camp, they attempted to wind down for the night. It was past 3 a.m., and between the travel and the hike, exhaustion had set in. Yet, sleep felt completely out of reach. In the moment, nothing seemed obviously wrong, and they chalked it up to a strange fluke. What they had no way of knowing was that the instant the camera toppled over, something had been recorded. If you study the footage carefully, you can make out what looks like a human-shaped head peering at their tent from the pitch-black darkness beyond. Something had been observing them the whole time without their knowledge. They tried to shake it off and settle back down, but 15 minutes later, things escalated dramatically.
声が聞こえて、飛び起きたんですけど、声のする方を見たら、ここからもう帰ろうよ。
Hiro spotted silhouettes standing just outside the tent, staring directly in at them. That was the breaking point. They threw their gear together as quickly as humanly possible and fled. So, was it a genuine apparition? Someone playing games with them in the dark? There's no definitive answer. But what's undeniable is that the old Inunnaki tunnel more than earned its sinister reputation that night. Hiro and Tomo walked in searching for a brush with the paranormal, and they got far more than they bargained for. Whatever lurked in those shadows made absolutely certain they felt its presence before the night was through. The videos you're about to see were all posted to Reddit by the user shown on screen. He's been uploading security footage recorded inside his own home, and what it appears to show has left a lot of people deeply unsettled. a TV remote slides across the surface on its own, and the television switches on without anyone touching it. And it doesn't stop there. Throughout the footage, a dark shadowy shape can be spotted moving through the room, and near the end, something that can't be seen appears to press down onto the sofa cushions, creating an indentation before seemingly rising back up. Then, on a separate occasion, a camera positioned in his kitchen caught something that's even harder to explain. Right at the beginning of the clip, a dark orb floats across the frame. After that, things escalate fast. Spoons go flying across the dining table, and a plate smashes as though hurled by something with no physical form. Even his cat gets in on it, snapping its attention towards something completely invisible to everyone else. The cupboard doors fly open by themselves. Seconds after that, his cat wanders in and begins scanning the room, behaving as though it's tracking something moving right in front of it. So, what's your take on what's going on inside this man's home? Is this footage genuine evidence of paranormal activity, or is there a more rational explanation hiding somewhere? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Late one evening, somewhere in Louisiana, Mallory Weber is shooting a lighthearted clip of her son Cashton when something stops her cold.
Cheese! Cheese! What you doing? What you see? What? What you see? Who are you saying hi to? Who are you saying hi to? Dude, you need to stop that.
The the boy appears to notice a figure standing inside Mallory's bedroom. Shaken, she goes to investigate, only to find the room completely empty. Baffled by what happened, she uploads the footage online, where it spreads rapidly and draws a flood of questions from viewers. She addresses them in 2 separate follow-up videos.
There's really not much of a backstory, I'm sorry. I was just videoing him being cute and saying cheese, and then that happened. Never happened before. Both his grandpas are still alive. It's my grandpa and my husband's grandpa that both passed away like a year ago. He did meet both of them. They never lived in my house before. That bedroom was me and my husband's bedroom. I'm trying to think of all the questions because I want to answer all y'all. I don't know. That's about it. This never happened before, so that's why I was telling him to stop, and that it was freaking me out because I didn't know how to respond. It never happened, and it was freaking me out. That's about it. Who's Papa? Papa could be my grandpa or my husband's grandpa because they both passed the same year. Both of my son's grandpas are both alive. I don't know if you'd call them grandpas, papas, grandfather, I don't know, but we call them Papa. That's how they are down here. That's what we call them. I hope that answered your question.
Was Cashton picking up on the presence of a deceased grandfather, or could there be another explanation altogether? Let us know what you think. One afternoon, a woman named Rachel Navarro was alone in her New York City apartment when the building lost power due to a maintenance issue. Without electricity, the hallway just beyond her door was swallowed in complete darkness. Rachel tried to keep herself together at first, but then things started getting unsettling.
Okay, hi. Sorry, I'm just watching something, but literally, hold on. There's no electricity in our place right now, okay? Turned it off, but I swear, shite. Okay, this door, Jesus, has been doing this literally all day. And look, that's shite. Oh my God. Please, looking out. Hello? Hold on. I'm going out there. Hold on, there's no light. Oh, I turned the flash on because I couldn't see shite out there. I have my epic mace. Okay. I swear. Blood of Jesus. Jesus. Oh my gosh, Jesus. Okay, this door always moves because of the wind. I'm not really worried about that. Hello? It's just like mad dark if I don't. Jesus, hold on. No.
Her front door began rattling violently, as though someone on the other side was shoving or yanking at it. She pulled out her phone and hit record, shakily trying to describe what was unfolding around her. Peering through the peephole, she was almost certain she caught some kind of movement lurking in the blackness outside. Frightened, she armed herself with pepper spray and cautiously cracked the door open. The hallway, however, was completely deserted. No footsteps, no voices, no light, just an impenetrable void. She ventured out briefly, sweeping her phone's flashlight across the corridor to get a better look. That's when something stopped her cold.
It's just like mad dark if I don't.
A barely audible whisper, followed by the unmistakable sound of someone breathing just inches away. She panicked, threw the door shut, and bolted every lock. Even now, Rachel still has no explanation for whatever or whoever was lurking outside her door that night. Brendan, who runs the YouTube channel Brendan Explores, shared this clip with the caption, quote, "This is the worst camping experience I've ever had." It all started when Brendan decided to visit the charming seaside town of Clacton-on-Sea, situated along England's southeast coastline. Just 2 miles to the south lies another coastal settlement called Jaywick, though the two towns couldn't be further apart in terms of reputation. While Clacton has actually been ranked among the happiest places to live in Britain, Jaywick is widely regarded as the most deprived town in the entire country. Brendan sets out to investigate Jaywick for himself, sleeping in his van overnight to see whether the town's notoriety is deserved. At 2:30 in the morning, he gets his answer.
I think someone's outside the van. +2. Someone just tried the door. Hey! Right, whoever the that was has now gone. I'm gonna get out of here. Oh my god.
Startled from his sleep in the dead of night, Brendan is shaken to his core when he hears someone trying to force open his door handle. Before he can even process what's happening, the intruder shatters his window. Brendan says that the moment he yelled out, whoever was on the other side bolted. Both Brendan and his audience believe the culprit was simply an opportunistic thief. A brief search online confirms that Jaywick, the very spot where Brendan had parked up, ranks among the highest crime rate areas in Britain. Up to 62% of adults in Jaywick are out of work, and with virtually no local opportunities available, perhaps it's not so surprising that some residents turn to theft to get by. That said, Brendan maintains that despite how frightening the ordeal was, it hasn't deterred him from camping altogether. He'll simply be a lot more careful choosing his next overnight spot. In 2016, a well-known Mexican hip-hop group posted a music video to YouTube that went on to rack up more than 66 million views. However, a number of viewers picked up on something deeply unsettling hidden within the footage. Near the opening of the video, the lead singer is shown sitting inside a vehicle. That's when something chilling makes its appearance, something that defies any easy explanation. See for yourself what the camera captured. Out of nowhere, a see-through humanoid figure materialized directly in front of the car, then disappeared just as instantly, as though it had never existed at all. The production crew behind the video maintains that there was absolutely nothing standing in front of that car during filming. The original video remains up on YouTube to this day, so you can go verify it with your own eyes. I'll leave you with one question. What do you think that translucent figure actually was? Talia is a mom who typically keeps her social media presence light and warm, easy clips of her daily life and sweet little moments with her son. Nothing out of the ordinary. But one particular upload drew attention for a completely different reason, and a far more disturbing one. The footage was captured on Christmas night, with the family all together at home. Since it was getting late, Talia figured her son had already drifted off to sleep in his bedroom. Or so she thought. What she had no idea about was that he was still up, entertaining himself on his own. Or perhaps not entirely on his own. That's when things took a strange turn.
Tell me what this scary motion in my son's room is.
At first, the baby monitor footage looks completely unremarkable. The boy is quietly playing, relaxed, showing no sign of distress whatsoever. But shift your attention to the right side of the frame. Look closely. Something materializes out of nowhere and then vanishes just as fast. What appears is startlingly similar to the head of a young girl. It happens in a flash, easy to miss if you're not paying attention. But once your eyes lock onto it, the shape is impossible to shake. And here's the part that makes it even harder to dismiss. Talia states with absolute certainty that no other children were present in the house that evening. No relatives, no neighbors, no visiting kids, not even an animal that might account for the figure. As far as she's concerned, whatever appeared there had no business being there. But the story doesn't end there. Run through the footage once more, because right at the moment that shape shows up, something else catches the eye. A little further up the screen, a small glowing sphere drifts across the image. An orb. Paranormal researchers often point to orbs as indicators of unexplained activity in a space. Now, there are perfectly rational counter-arguments. Lens flares, floating dust particles, digital artifacts. But the fact that this one appears at precisely that moment is hard to brush aside. Talia is still searching for a reasonable explanation for everything her camera recorded that Christmas night. Nothing she's come up with so far seems to hold up. The clip remains live online, with viewers dissecting it one frame at a time. And the question that keeps circling back is this: was it all just a strange coincidence? Or was that little boy not the only one in that room? As always, that's for you to decide. On May 22nd, 2015, at roughly 7 in the morning, officers responded to a playground in Maryland and encountered one of the most haunting scenes any of them would ever face. What they discovered was a mother pushing her son in a swing, but the truth behind that image was deeply disturbing. This is the story of 3-year-old Jaywick Lee and his mother, Ramira Sims. Ramira had Jaywick at 21 while she was still finishing school. Her relationship with James Lee, Jaywick's father, was rocky from the start, and the two separated in 2014. Raising her son on her own wore her down, and steady employment proved impossible to hold on to. Life kept throwing things at her, yet she pushed forward regardless. Still, the warning signs that something was wrong with Ramira were hard to ignore. She confided in her mother, Vantasha Sims, that she felt watched and that she had to keep Jaywick safe. There were moments she refused to eat, convinced the food had been tampered with. In February 2015, Ramira was diagnosed with schizophrenia. Before she was released, she received counseling and a prescription that should have made a real difference. But she stopped taking the medication not long after going home. She said she felt disconnected from herself whenever she took it. Vantasha reached out to both authorities and family members, but nothing came of it. Without any clear indication that Ramira was a danger to anyone, their hands were tied. James Lee also grew concerned enough to file for custody of Jaywick, arguing that Ramira wasn't capable of properly caring for the boy. But despite everything she was going through, Ramira had always been a devoted mother to Jaywick. Patient, gentle, never raising her voice at him. With no concrete evidence that she posed any real risk, the court rejected James's petition. On May 19, 2015, Ramira brought Jaywick to Wills Memorial Park in La Plata, Maryland. She placed him in a swing and began pushing him in a steady, rhythmic motion, back and forth, back and forth. People passed by throughout the day and thought nothing of it. It looked like any ordinary afternoon between a mother and her child. But behind that familiar scene, Ramira's paranoia had completely taken over. She was no longer grounded in reality, and she had lost any ability to stop herself. Someone who had strolled through the park the day before happened to pass by again and immediately noticed something off. The same woman, the same child, the same spot, the same clothes, nothing had changed. That person called 911. When officers arrived, Ramira was still at it. That same repetitive motion had continued for 2 full days. No food, no sleep, no shelter. And she didn't even register that the police were standing right there. She kept pushing until an officer physically intervened, at which point she collapsed entirely. Ramira was rushed to a nearby hospital for a full psychological evaluation. An autopsy determined that Jaywick had died from dehydration and hypothermia, with medical examiners estimating he had passed within the first 12 hours of arriving at the park. Even after that, Ramira had kept pushing, completely unaware of what had happened. Psychiatrists who evaluated her concluded she had been in a full psychotic state, entirely cut off from reality. In her mind, she was still caring for her son and had no comprehension of the danger she had placed him in. Put simply, she wasn't acting out of cruelty. She genuinely did not understand what she was doing. What followed was a deeply contested legal battle. One side argued that Ramira bore responsibility for her son's death because she had chosen to stop taking her prescribed medication. The other side contended that she had been let down by the very systems that existed to help people in her situation, that the courts and healthcare professionals had multiple chances to intervene and prevent the tragedy but failed to act. The public was just as divided, with some even pointing fingers at the bystanders who passed by without looking closely enough. Ultimately, the court ruled that Ramira was not criminally responsible for what happened. The determination was that she belonged in a psychiatric facility, not behind bars. Do you think that was the right call? And what do you believe governments and communities should be doing differently to make sure something like this never happens again? Share your thoughts in the comments below. A group of friends decided to spend a relaxed afternoon fishing along a river, with nothing around them but open skies and gently moving water. For a good stretch of time, everything felt exactly as it should. Lines in the water, jokes being traded, the current doing its thing. Then the mood shifted. Out of nowhere, someone showed up with one clear mission: to make their day miserable.
What'd you say?
You don't own the river. Yeah, not the river.
Oh, I hate it, eh?
Yeah, we'll stay off the property, that's fine. You don't own the river, we're just walking the river.
Where's your car?
Don't get all pissed at us and
Where's your vehicle?
oh, I'm your farm and I might
Where's your vehicle, mate? If it's on the place, I'm going to go and take the driver's license and I'm going to go and get your bloody...
You know, in New South Wales, you're allowed to walk in the water, though.
You can walk
Yeah,
in the water.
yeah.
There's an electric fence up there.
Okay, we'll be careful. Yeah.
We're just walking through the river.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
We will not go on your property.
Is your vehicle down by the river?
No.
I'm telling you where to go. Well, I'm going to go find it.
We're not going to go on your property.
Yeah.
You've got to get to the river through our place and we don't like people.
We've walked far as, like it's way down. Yeah.
Yeah, we won't go on your property. We've been walking up the river the whole time. That's it. We won't get out of the river.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
mate.
No, I understand it.
Yeah.
No, I know that, but that's what does happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
People are arseholes, I'm sorry, and they've been really dickheads to...
What had started as a low-key outing quickly became a full-blown confrontation. The group stayed calm and tried to reason with the stranger, pointing out that they were wading in the water and hadn't set foot on anyone's private property. None of it landed. The intruder demanded to know where they'd parked, threw out trespassing accusations, and started going on about fences and boundary lines. The pleasant atmosphere evaporated almost instantly. Rather than backing off, the stranger turned up the heat, lobbing threats, making wild accusations, and doing everything short of physically removing them to drive the group away.
Now he's filming now. You want one?
Mate, you'd have been a bit different about the whole thing.
I said to you that we just want to get on your property. I protect everything. We know what we're doing and we're not doing anything wrong. Look, we're not doing anything wrong. I'll tell you that right now. That's fine.
But I'm not going to make it easy for you either.
Well, that's fine. We'll just keep going past your
Mate,
property.
that's private property as well, and they're not going to be too happy.
No, we're gonna keep walking though in the water. We're just gonna keep walking.
A relaxing fishing trip had morphed into a drawn-out standoff that nobody signed up for. At one point, rocks and sticks started getting tossed into the water, a deliberate attempt to wreck their fishing and pressure them into leaving. The message was becoming impossible to ignore. Some people genuinely seemed to get satisfaction from poisoning someone else's good time, especially when their own life feels like it's spinning out. Like a snake coiled in the grass, they strike without reason, feeding on the chaos they stir up. To their credit, the friends held their ground, calmly insisting they had every right to be there and refusing to be pushed off public water by someone on a power trip. The whole thing had an almost surreal quality to it. A perfectly ordinary day outdoors derailed by a dispute that never needed to happen. Situations like this keep coming up, and they all point to the same uncomfortable truth. Certain people simply cannot tolerate watching others enjoy themselves. Whether it's buried resentment, a craving for control, or just plain misery looking for company, they lash out at spaces and moments that were never theirs to claim. Moments like this are a sharp reminder of just how fast a peaceful afternoon can fall apart the second one angry person decides to make it their problem. So here's something worth thinking about. What would you have done in their position? Would you dig in and keep fishing, or cut your losses and walk away? And maybe the bigger question, why do you think some people feel compelled to tear apart someone else's piece just to feel a little more in control of their own? Rolling through the area. This next clip comes from a channel called Caught on Tape, a YouTube page dedicated to sharing genuine, spine-chilling, and unexplained footage from the real world. The channel covers everything from paranormal run-ins to bizarre sightings and genuinely terrifying moments, all captured on camera when people least expected it. It's a go-to destination for anyone drawn to horror, the supernatural, and real-life mysteries that don't have easy answers. The date is October 6th, 2011, and two friends, Andrew and the person behind the camera, are poking around an abandoned house they stumbled upon in the woods near the narrator's land. The interior is covered in graffiti and shows clear signs of past human presence, hinting that someone once called this place home. The two move carefully through the unsettling space, trying to track down the source of some strange sounds they picked up earlier, all while keeping their guard up. That crumbling, ghost-like structure quickly becomes the center of a tense, fear-soaked investigation. Things kick off with the pair stumbling across what looks like a forgotten barn-style building sitting on one of their properties. Baffled that they've spent so long living nearby without ever noticing it, they can't help but go in for a closer look. Inside, they find walls tagged with graffiti and evidence suggesting someone may have been there not too long ago. That discovery gnaws at them. Suddenly, they're not so sure the place is actually empty.
Hey, do you have a light? Shine it up there. What? Look.
My camera's not picking it up.
No.
I definitely...
It comes right here. Look. What's that red?
What is this?
Is that a house? That's a freaking house.
It looks like...
There's no house on my property. I've never seen... There's no way that this is real. Here. Go forward.
What the heck?
There's no way that this is real. I have been on every square foot of my property and never seen this before. Wait. Be cautious. Hey, keep your knife ready.
My camera's having a really hard time picking this up.
Can you see anything in there?
I can see it, yeah, but I don't know.
Just stay quiet. If we can hear that thing in there, we'll know it's in there for sure. Just keep moving. Did you just hear that? This thing has run at me before. This thing has come at me before. So I'm just warning you right now. Stay cautious. If you see this thing, just turn around and run, alright? If it comes at you, just do whatever you can to get it off you. You can use the knife. Just... Is that the door? Wait a minute.
This is definitely the door.
Just wait. We have to make sure there's nothing in here.
There's
Just stay quiet. There's freaking graffiti on the walls. Nobody ever comes out on my property. Have people been coming out on my property?
It's like a barn.
What the heck is this? Are you freaking kidding me? People have been coming out on my property? How come I've never seen this house before?
Look at this.
How could I have never seen this before?
Kenny, get over here. This seems to be some sort of like kitchen.
Without any warning, a blood-curdling, predator-like screech rips through the building, stopping them dead in their tracks. It's a sound neither of them can place, somewhere between a shriek and a mechanical clicking, and deeply, deeply wrong. They freeze, eyes locked on each other, their breathing going ragged. The dread becomes too much to bear, and they make the call to get out before whatever produced that sound makes itself known.
Oh my god.
Just keep your light on. I can't see anything. I don't have my light. What does that say? Turn off the lights. Turn off your light. Turn off your light. Just be quiet. Okay. We're gonna get up. We're gonna get up. And we're gonna walk out. We're gonna get up and we're gonna walk out. Okay. Let's walk out. Let's get it. Just go.
But as they scramble toward the exit, things take an even darker turn. The camera catches what looks unmistakably like a strange alien-shaped figure crouched in the loft directly above them. The moment that registers, pure terror takes over. They don't hesitate. They bolt out of the structure at full speed. Every thought stripped down to one. Put as much distance between themselves and that thing as humanly possible. Their feet hammer against the forest floor as they tear through the trees, minds flooded with unanswered questions. Fortunately, they both make it out without a scratch. Rattled but not ready to let it go, they later talk about heading back in the daytime with weapons to get some answers. But here's the thing. This footage is now almost 14 years old, and not a single update has ever surfaced. So what was it? A misidentified animal, a skinwalker, some kind of cryptid, or something that didn't originate on this planet at all? Drop your theories in the comments.
Shh, be quiet. If it can't hear us, it's not gonna find us. Which way do we come in? Where's the door? It's through here. It's through here. Shh. Be quiet. What's that? Just be quiet. Just be quiet. Shh. Let's go. Hear that? I think it's on the roof. The heck is that? Oh, shoot! Just get out of the house! Just get back to the house! Jesus Christ, Jesus.
On August 18th, 2020, at the Sabison's Game Reserve in South Africa, Dylan Panos had risen early with nothing but coffee on his mind, until what greeted him stopped him cold.
So, my kitchen is growling at me this morning. As you can see, you've got a beautiful male lion looking through my kitchen window. And I just need to get to that kettle to make some coffee, that's all. But the decision is, should I go cold turkey this morning, have no coffee? What do you guys think? Oh, what a dilemma.
Just beyond his kitchen window, a powerful male lion was staring straight back at him, its eyes locked on with an intense, predatory focus. Dylan did his best to hold it together, but the terror was written all over his face. The lion let out a roar so close and so raw that Dylan could make out every ounce of fury behind those eyes.
We woke up this morning. We've got a honeymoon couple in camp. And the lioness, she's lying right here by the wall. And we can't get even to make our coffee this morning. Very rude behavior. I don't know if this chicken wire, chicken mesh is much of a protection. But yeah, there she is. And he's guarding her. She wants nothing to do with him. We just need coffee, but...
He later described how the lion had been prowling around his campsite throughout the night, circling his cabin in the darkness. And if that wasn't enough, a female lioness had positioned herself right up against the wall outside, completely cutting off any route to his kettle, almost as though she was daring him to make a move and already knew how it would end. Eventually, both lions lost interest and wandered off, leaving Dylan to finally breathe again, pour himself that long-awaited cup of coffee, and get on with his morning. The Count Fav CD can be seen recording from inside his vehicle before pulling up to a residence, and from the moment he arrives, something feels deeply off. Almost immediately, the uploader is visibly shaken when he finds that the stove has been switched on with no explanation. He tries to take a breath and steady himself, but he barely gets the chance, because then things take a turn.
Why is that on? Why was that damn door? That door was not shut.
Without any warning, a door swings shut on its own, leaving the uploader completely stunned. Clearly unsettled, he calls out in frustration, "Who are you? What do you want?" Not really expecting a response, but that's precisely what follows.
Who are you? What do you want? I'm out.
An eerie, disembodied voice can be heard answering him with a single bone-chilling word: leave.
Leave.
The footage wraps up with the man doing just that, bolting from the house without so much as a glance behind him. This video was only uploaded to TikTok roughly a month ago, so with any luck, we might hear a follow-up before long. It's a genuinely strange and deeply unsettling situation, to put it mildly. Skeptics could argue the stove or door had some kind of mechanical fault, but that unmistakable voice at close range telling him to get out is what pushes this whole thing into far more disturbing territory. If this is authentic, it's the sort of encounter that would stay with a person for a very long time. A TikToker decided to take his dog out for an overnight camping trip deep in the woods. When he got there, the area was deserted. No other campers, no signs of human activity, just him and the wilderness, which initially felt like exactly what he was after. Then, without any warning, every sound in the forest just stopped. No chirping, no buzzing, complete silence. As a lot of people already know, that kind of sudden quiet in the wild is often nature's way of signaling that something dangerous is close by. That's the moment the vibe shifted entirely. His dog felt it too, snapping to attention immediately. Overcome with a creeping sense of dread, he pulled out his phone and hit record. The whole atmosphere felt deeply wrong, and the eerie silence hanging over everything only made it harder to shake. But then, after a short while, this is what his camera caught. A light blinked into view somewhere in the distance, visible for only a few seconds before disappearing. No sounds came with it. No crunching leaves, no voices, not a single footstep. Now, could it have been just another hiker? Maybe. But the fact that whoever it was kept their light off almost the entire time and moved without making a sound strongly implies they were deliberately avoiding detection. And that's the part that really gets under your skin. What exactly does someone have to hide out in the middle of a forest at night? What were they up to out there? I've brought this up before. Wild animals can absolutely be a threat, but the people you genuinely need to be afraid of in remote wilderness are the ones who are actively trying to make sure you never know they're around. That was enough for him. He scooped up his dog and left without hesitation, and honestly, looking back on everything, that split-second decision was probably the best one he made that entire night. In the following clip, a couple begins to notice strange, unexplained movements inside their home. It starts subtly, items not being where they were left, an uneasy feeling when certain rooms go quiet, and moments where it feels like someone else is present even when they're alone. One evening, one of them notices something she's absolutely certain about. The blinds in one room are open, even though she clearly remembers closing them. She shuts them again and leaves the room. Minutes later, she returns, and the blinds are open, so this time, instead of brushing it off, she stays, pulls out her phone, and starts recording to see what's causing it. Watch closely.
Me, or is that an opening? Let me pause this shit, cause is it me? Oh my god, baby. Baby. Is it me or they fucking opening?
After the video was shared, explanations quickly followed. Some suggested the blinds might be loose or no longer tight enough, slowly slipping down on their own. Others speculated that someone could be standing outside the window. But when she stepped outside to check for footprints or signs of anyone nearby, there were none. No marks, no disturbance, nothing that could explain it. What makes this harder for the couple to dismiss is that this isn't the only strange thing they've experienced. They've openly said they believe they're gifted with sight, able to sense and see spirits, and because of past experiences, they're already open to the idea that the paranormal is very real. They've encountered unusual things outside their home as well, events that reinforce that belief. One moment that stands out happened when they took their nephew Nick to the park shortly after he lost his best friend. While spending time there, something unexpected was captured. Watch and listen closely.
This is a video of our nephew at the park, and his best friend had recently died. Let us know what you hear.
Ow, my head! My head got hurt twice!
Some people hear a voice saying, "Nick, I love you." Others believe it says, "I can help you." Was this a comforting message meant only for him, or something else entirely trying to make contact? Let me know what you heard. Now, in this next clip, a man is trying to get to the root of why his younger daughter is terrified of a particular toy. Every time she sees it, she cries. When it's brought closer, she screams and tries to get away, refusing to stay in the same room with it. She won't touch it, won't look at it for long, and becomes visibly distressed whenever it's nearby. Behavior that her parents say doesn't happen with any of her other toys. One evening, hoping to understand what was triggering such a strong reaction, the father brings the toy out again with the help of his older daughter. As they interact with it, he suddenly notices something unsettling. Watch.
Okay, pull the string.
Okay.
Let it go slow. Alright, now do it regular. Alright, I'll do it again, but a little slower.
Before jumping to conclusions, it's important to know what this toy actually is. Viewers quickly pointed out that it's a 1985 Secret Care Bear, one of the early talking toys. Unlike modern toys that use digital electronics, these older models relied on sound cylinders. The slower the pull string retracts, the slower the cylinder turns, which can cause the voice to stretch, warp, and distort, similar to forcing a vinyl record to slow down mid-play. Back in the day, many parents complained that these toys sounded disturbing, even describing the voices as demonic, but that's not where the concern ends. Some people took things much further, pointing to the symbols on the Care Bears' bellies, known as belly badges. According to proponents, these symbols resemble veves, religious markings used in voodoo practices believed to act as spiritual beacons or invitations for specific entities. While others dismiss this as coincidence or overinterpretation, those who believe in spiritual sensitivity argue that children are often more perceptive to energies adults ignore. So if this little girl reacts so strongly to this specific toy, could it really be just the distorted voice? Or is she sensing something else entirely? I'd leave you to be the judge of this one. In the following clip, a woman was just about to take a shower when her friend FaceTimed her. During the call, the friend jokingly teased her about the way she had wrapped her hair before hanging up. Laughing it off, she decided to rewrap it properly and record a short video to send back as proof she could do it better this time. But while she was recording, something completely unexpected happened. Watch closely. From her reaction alone, you can tell how deeply it shook her. And honestly, it's hard to blame her. She had already heard unsettling stories from neighbors in the building, reports of curtains moving on their own, unexplained knocking late at night, and even whispers coming from empty rooms. So when her own curtains suddenly began moving violently, not swaying gently, but tugged as if someone was deliberately pulling it, panic took over, and in that moment, running was the only thing she could think to do. But if whatever caused that movement had actually shifted into her apartment, many argue that running alone wouldn't solve anything. But is there a chance this is a one-time incident? Or should she start taking it seriously? Now, in this next video, a family had just moved into a home tucked deep in the Smoky Mountains, not far from the Appalachian Range. And according to them, it's been one disturbing incident after another since the day they arrived. At first, it was little things they tried to brush off. Strange noises at night, an uneasy feeling when the sun went down, and the sense that the woods surrounding their property were never truly quiet. But one night, the husband and son went outside to bring one of their chickens back into the coop when something suddenly charged at them from the darkness. Watch closely.
Yeah.
Really faster than deer.
Towards us. Yeah. From the same fucking place. The same place.
So I shot.
Lights to the right.
I shot a couple of times.
Right. Fired off around.
Well, I've shot I think I may have even hit it.
Right there, left. I just saw eyes right there.
Yeah, we've been seeing eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Over there.
I'm going inside and I'm telling them what happened.
Telling you what happened. Oh.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I don't blame you, dude. That's.
This is insane.
Clearly, something.
This is insane. Okay, my phone died. It literally went from 60 to 1 and then it died, okay? So we're sitting here, we realize what's going on. I say it's the chairs being drug across the concrete, okay? Then all of a sudden we hear tapping. The door is on the other side of this, right through those doors right there. The tapping was through there. That's where the hot tub is, on that side. And right along that side of the property line right there is where it was last night, okay? Then, right after 4 taps on that glass, something tried to put in a code on my front door, and it was wrong, and it went da-na-na-na, and then it left, and it was complete silence. My 2 oldest boys were at the gym. My other son, who is 16, and my husband, who protects our home mostly, okay, were gone. This thing waited until the protectors of our home were gone to intimidate us. And not 1, but 2 this time. I immediately went, I got my AR, I slammed in the clip, I flipped that motherfucker to fire, and I chambered that bitch.
Only people that were in the home were women, children, and the elderly.
I went and checked all the doors. I locked 2 doors that were unlocked. Only one of those doors had somebody been out of today. The other one has not been touched. It never is used. Nobody ever uses that entrance. I went and opened my grandpa's door. I checked on him. He said he'd been in there the whole time. I said, Grandpa, something's trying to get in the house. Do not come out. We're sweeping the house with guns. Stay in this room. Call me if you need me.
Once the video circulated, people familiar with Appalachian folklore began chiming in. Many claimed this sounded eerily similar to encounters they'd had themselves. Some suggested a rake. Others went even further, saying the behavior matched stories tied to Wendigos or skinwalkers, entities long associated with remote wooded areas and mountain regions like this. Advice poured in quickly. Viewers urged them to place iron spikes at all 4 corners of their property line. Others recommended walking the perimeter with salt as a protective barrier. A lot of people warned them to stop staring into the tree line at night, claiming that acknowledging whatever is out there can invite more activity. But just a few days later, something else happened. She went into the kitchen to grab something and noticed something completely out of place. Watch.
I never used to leave my front porch lights on. What the is that? Hey yo, what the is that? Oh, no.
After this second clip, interest in her story exploded, and that's when she shared something deeply personal. According to her, she's had a paranormal attachment since she was a toddler. She claims it eventually left after she rededicated her life to Christ, but she also admits that strange experiences have followed her family over the years, and now, since moving to this area, whatever it is feels stronger, more aggressive, and far more frequent. So the question remains, is this activity tied to the land, the deep woods and ancient energy of the Appalachian Mountains? Or is something from her past finding its way back to her now? Let me know what you think. This next video was captured on Christmas Day, a time most people associate with peace, family, and quiet moments at home. But for this family, whatever has been haunting their house didn't take a break for the holidays. They had already been dealing with unexplained activity for weeks. Still, they hoped Christmas would at least bring some calm. Well, it didn't. Take a look. At the very beginning, a voice can be heard clearly saying Eva, followed shortly after by Simon, the exact names of people living inside the house. That detail alone is what made this clip especially disturbing. Many believe that when a spirit uses someone's real name, it's not random. In some belief systems, speaking a person's name is thought to establish a stronger connection, almost like marking them. And then there are those who warn that this kind of behavior signals escalation, a sign that the activity is moving beyond noises and into direct interaction. Skeptics tried to make their points, but for the family, hearing their names spoken inside their own home on Christmas Day of all days didn't feel like coincidence. So what do you think this was? A spirit trying to communicate, or something darker attempting to latch on? Now, this next clip was also recorded on Christmas Day, and interestingly, many people believe this is a time when houses can become more active, not less. Across different cultures and belief systems, Christmas is often described as a kind of thin moment, where emotions run high, memories are stirred, and homes are filled with energy tied to family, loss, and tradition. Paranormal enthusiasts often claim that spirits are more active during holidays because of this emotional intensity. There are countless reports tied specifically to Christmas: footsteps heard while everyone is asleep, ornaments moving on their own, voices captured on recordings during gift opening, and even children claiming to see unfamiliar figures standing near trees or doorways. And for the lady in this video, Christmas Day was no exception. Watch this.
Me encanta porque se me abrió la puerta del ropero sola. No, pero escúchame una cosa. Nos quedamos donde estamos acá, no saludamos a nadie. Chao. Buenas noches, nos vamos todos a dormir.
After this clip was shared, the comments section quickly filled up as viewers began sharing their own Christmas-related experiences. So now it's your turn. Have you ever experienced something strange on Christmas Day or during the holidays? Or was it just a coincidence? Now, this next clip was captured by a family we've featured on this channel before. A family whose house situation has been one of the hardest for viewers to make sense of. On the very first day of the year, while most people were sleeping peacefully or welcoming a fresh start, this family barely managed an hour of rest. Watch.
Espérame, voy a ver allá abajo, no hay nada acá.
At first glance, it might be easy for some to dismiss this as staged, but the reactions of the children tell a very different story. This is pure fear, the kind of fear that comes from living with something you don't understand and can't escape from. Many viewers keep repeating the same advice: just move. But how easy is that really? When funds are limited, when the housing market is tight, and when every affordable option feels out of reach, leaving isn't as simple as packing bags and walking away. The family says they've tried everything they know, so this is one mystery that refuses to let go. The following clip was recorded inside Kyle's house, a place we've featured several times on this channel. For the past few weeks, things have been unusually quiet, but as many people familiar with paranormal cases will tell you, long quiet periods don't always mean the activity is gone. Sometimes they mean something is building up. One morning, Kyle woke up to the sound of voices coming from somewhere inside his house. Watch closely. At first, he did what most people would do. He searched the house room by room, trying to find a logical source. No TV was on, no phone, no neighbors, nothing that could explain what he was hearing. But when he reached the basement door, things became even more unsettling. Viewers who analyzed the clip claim they heard a young girl's voice whispering, "He's coming." But Kyle doesn't have any children and no kids were anywhere near the house at the time. Several people urged Kyle not to respond verbally, especially not in the moment, a common warning when unexplained voices are heard, as acknowledging them is believed by some to strengthen the activity. For now, Kyle hasn't been able to explain what he heard that morning, just a voice that shouldn't have been there, and a house that, after weeks of silence, suddenly felt very. In this next video, a security guard shares more updates from his workplace, a place where strange figures have been showing up far too often to ignore. In earlier clips, he documented unexplained figures passing, and he thought it was going to be a one-off activity, but it happened again. One night during his shift, he noticed a white figure moving through the building once again. Instead of brushing it off, he decided to stand up and follow it, hoping to finally get a clearer look. Watch closely.
The storm is so bad that ghost had to go upstairs. Look at the bottom right. Look. There you go. Look at that. It was cold. I'm like, oh shit. I wanted to follow it and feel. See, I'm trying to feel, like, follow the cold breeze. I saw it going towards the elevator. So I went there. It was actually a cold breeze towards the elevator, then it just stopped. So I'm like, damn. Shit. So I walked back thinking the motherfucker was gone. I guess it didn't want me to follow it. So I'm like, okay. Then something touched me. I'm like, what the something touched me. I'm still trying to see, like, where is it at? Like, it vanished, so how is it still touching me or something? I don't know. It's creepy. So I'm like, okay. Well, at least I saw it and followed it for a little moment. Then it went to vanish. I'm like, oh, yeah. I was like, go ahead and take your ass upstairs and get warm.
Aside from briefly touching him, there haven't been any violent attacks, scratches, or aggressive behavior. This led many to believe this could be a non-hostile or friendly spirit, possibly unaware of its surroundings or simply repeating a routine it once had in life. But it happened again. On another night shift, the guard spotted the same faint white figure again, only this time it came through the door. and as the figure moved closer, he described feeling a sudden cold breeze, even though the building's temperature hadn't changed. Have a look.
I saw that motherfucker again. Just look real close. Just look. It's coming from the door, from outside. See it? It's faint. It's real faint. I'm looking at it, I'm like, hold on, let me feel if it's real. It's cold too. When I put my hand up there by it, it's real cold. Then it went back there towards the door, all the way back there in the back. I'm like, whoa. I wanted to see it went close to me or some shit. I'm like, oh, so ghosts, because ghosts do give out like a cold chill, like when you put like it's like a cold breeze there. I'm like, okay. Shit, I saw it came from outside too. I'm like, damn. And I wasn't even freaked out. I just wanted to see how it felt. I was like, that motherfucker cold in the mud. So I saw it. That shit is crazy, man. It's been a while since I've seen this, so like I said, it come every now and then, but you have to look real hard though, real hard to see it. It came from here and it went real slow. Just look real hard when you rewind the video.
In paranormal belief, sudden cold spots are often associated with spirits because it's said they draw energy from their surroundings to manifest or move. Many claim that when a temperature drops without explanation, it can signal a spirit passing through or attempting to interact. Despite multiple encounters, the figure has never spoken, it hasn't shown its face, and it hasn't revealed why it keeps appearing in the same workplace night after night. Until more updates are shared, this case remains unsolved. Now, this next video is about David, the man who bought a doll and almost immediately realized he'd made a serious mistake. At first, David believed the activity was tied directly to the doll, so he did what many advised. He locked it inside a cage and placed a Bible on top, hoping that would contain whatever presence was attached to it. But the activity in his house didn't stop. In fact, many viewers believe that while the doll may have acted as a trigger, whatever came with it may have already spread throughout the house long before it was locked away. One night, around 4 a.m., David woke up to get some work done, but as he finished and was about to head to bed, he began hearing something that immediately put him on edge. Listen closely.
Están escuchando, ¿no? Son pasos, esos son pasos. Y los estoy escuchando, ya van 2 veces que los escucho. Entonces la segunda vez dije, ok, termino de hacer la cama y empiezo a grabar. Ok, ya escucharon, ¿no? Bueno. Entonces, ¿por qué tengo la luz así? Porque me duermo con la luz de rojo, y ya está. Y para los que digan, esas cruces que no sé qué, son adornos, nada más. Entonces, y encendí la luz del celular, ¿ok? Porque ahorita todo está apagado. ¿Qué voy a hacer? Ahí se escucha.
It sounded unmistakably like footsteps, and David was completely alone. In the same video, David addresses something many commenters had been focusing on, the red lighting in his room and the crosses on the wall. He explains that the red light helps him sleep, and the crosses are simply decorative ornaments, not ritualistic, not symbolic. But viewers aren't convinced. Many argued that red lighting is often associated with heightened emotional states or altered perception, while others insisted that symbolic objects, even when decorative, can still act as spiritual triggers, especially in an already active environment. Trying to locate the source of the noise, David followed the sound, and it didn't surprise anyone when the footsteps led him straight to the room where the doll was locked. But what shocked viewers most wasn't the room. It was what appeared just before he reached it, a face, barely visible, peeking out from the darkness, watching him. That single moment escalated everything, because now there were 3 separate concerns: the doll locked in the cage, the red light, and the cross ornaments, and now a visible presence that wasn't hiding anymore. David shared that this wasn't the first time he heard footsteps. One night while he was home alone, he heard footsteps so convincing that he genuinely believed someone had broken into his house. Have a look.
Se escuchó que alguien venía así hacia mí. Y fue cuando cerré la puerta.
After that incident, viewers advised him to prepare for the next time it happened, specifically by using talcum powder, a method some believe can reveal unseen movement through footprints. So when it happened again, David knew exactly what to do. Watch this carefully.
Talco para pies. No me importa usarlo todo. Bueno, amigas, bueno, amigos, así quedó. Ya está. No fue mucho lo que quedaba, ya se vació esto. Voy a dejarlo así, qué sé yo, toda la tarde y toda la noche de mañana, a ver qué pasa. Es decir, en 24 horas reviso. Ya está, antes de voy a encender esto. Todo eso está el talco, ¿ok? Sí se ve bien creepy, ¿no? Ah, cosa curiosa. El rosario de la Biblia ya no... A ver, así. Ya no encuentro el rosario de la Biblia. Y si se dan cuenta, la muñeca se volvió a mover.
As he pours the powder, something else happens. A voice can be heard. And for those familiar with David's story, this voice is disturbingly familiar. From the very beginning, David has described hearing a voice that sounds distressed, sometimes crying, sometimes calling his name, sometimes sounding like it's asking for forgiveness, as if whatever is there isn't just present, but suffering. Then, David noticed something else. The doll had changed position inside the cage, and the rosary he'd placed on top of the Bible was gone. At this point, even viewers couldn't agree on what was truly responsible. Some still blame the doll, others insist the house itself may already be haunted. A few believe it's the environment, the lighting, the symbols, the attention, feeding whatever is there. And then there's the face, because once something is watching you, it's no longer contained. So what do you think is causing all of this? The doll, the red light, the crosses, or the house itself? You be the judge. In the following video, a woman shares footage after more than 2 weeks of unsettling experiences, incidents that have slowly pushed her toward one frightening conclusion, that something may have attached itself to her. Watch this carefully.
I'm recording this to see if I can catch it on camera this time, but I'm home alone for the night and I swear I've been hearing noises. Usually this happens, but this time it turns off. Please tell me that you can hear it.
To a lot of people, this might not be a classic attachment case. Attachments usually don't begin loudly, they start subtly. A constant feeling of being watched, sudden emotional shifts that don't feel like your own, exhaustion that doesn't improve with rest, recurring intrusive thoughts, vivid dreams involving the same presence, or a heavy sensation in the chest or shoulders, as if something is always nearby. So this might be something else, a mimic. Mimic cases often present differently. Instead of targeting emotions or energy first, mimics focus on imitation. They copy familiar voices, repeat phrases the person has heard before, and create situations designed to provoke a response. And that's where the most important rule comes in. The number one rule when dealing with a mimic is this: do not respond and do not acknowledge it in any way. No speaking back, no calling out, no asking questions, no reacting emotionally. Sometimes, while attachments tend to drain and linger quietly, mimics provoke, and once they're acknowledged, they rarely stop. Until more updates are shared, the situation remains deeply unsettling. Now, in this next video, a man is simply giving his friends and family a tour of his new apartment. Nothing unusual, just a quick walkthrough to show the space. But he captured something terrifying. Take a look. It wasn't until one of his friends decided to slow the video down and examine each room more carefully that something disturbing stood out. As he walks past one of the rooms, there appears to be a woman standing still, facing the window. She doesn't move and she didn't turn. The man insists he was completely alone while filming. No roommate, no visitor. Viewers quickly began analyzing the footage frame by frame. Some believe it could be a reflection or a trick of lighting, but others pointed out that the figure appears to have depth and form, standing in a spot where no mirror or reflective surface should be. The posture is also unsettlingly natural, like someone quietly observing the outside world. So, what do you do when your new apartment already has someone living rent-free in it? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. This next video was captured by Nate, a man whose dog has been trying to warn him that something isn't right inside the house. One night, while Nate was home alone watching TV, this happened. Watch closely.
So I'm here watching football, and this light keeps going on and off. I was just up there going to the bathroom. Like, I checked the bulb, and the switch is right there. It just started doing this.
If it's just the lights turning on and off, some might say he's overreacting. Electrical issues happen, but when you factor in everything else that's already happened in this house, the situation becomes much harder to dismiss. We've heard whispers underneath several of Nate's past videos, faint, low, and not coming from the TV. There's also the clip where a knife was thrown across the room, even though no one was standing near it. And then there's his dog, who refuses to go into certain corners of the house, freezing in place, growling, or leaving the room altogether. And when multiple signs start stacking up, sound, movement, objects being thrown, and an animal clearly reacting, it begins to feel like something is escalating. For now, Nate hasn't been able to explain what's going on inside his home. So until more answers or updates surface, this one remains completely unsolved. Now in this next clip, popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian returns to what many locals consider the most haunted house in Minnesota, the infamous Boyd House. The home belonged to the Ehart family, Fred and Minnie, and was originally built back in 1901. As Ian entered one of the rooms, something immediately caught his attention. A light suddenly turned on by itself. At that moment, Ian knew he needed answers. Was this Fred, Minnie, or something else entirely? So he began asking questions.
Minnie, was that you that I heard earlier? Making all those noises? Turning on that closet light? Was that you? I feel him moving again. Thank you. I think they uncrossed. I hope you don't mind me visiting. It is a lovely place. You know, I keep coming back for a reason, right? What the heck was that? That sounded like a female voice, almost. It was like really faint. Minnie, is that you? There it is again. Okay. That is really spooky sounding. It sounds like a woman, like humming. Like,
Was that Minnie, the former owner many believe still wanders the house, known for moving objects and interacting with the environment? Or has something else found its way into the Boyd house, drawn in by years of attention and investigations? In the following clip, a family went to check out an apartment they were considering renting, but within minutes of stepping inside, something happened that none of them could explain. Watch this.
Scared of that. That's why I walked it.
Bubby, you stay with us.
I'm going down.
Ooh, it's purple.
You want this room,
It's Harry Potter themed.
Asides the fact that an unidentified voice suddenly whispered Jadis, viewers quickly pointed out something else that seems far more disturbing. There's a particular corner of the house that gave almost everyone watching the same unsettling feeling. It's the kind of spot that looks normal at first, but the longer you stare at it, the heavier it feels. Some viewers claim they could see faint, human-shaped figures shifting in the shadows. Others said that even through a screen, the corner looked wrong, almost like someone, or something, was standing there quietly, waiting for them to step closer. And then there's the little boy. The moment he said he was scared, a lot of people took that seriously, not because he sounded dramatic or confused, but because children are known to be extremely sensitive to things adults can't perceive. So between the mysterious voice calling out a name, the strange corner that unsettled so many viewers, and the child's immediate reaction, many believe the family got all the signs they needed. Whether they listened or not, though, that's something everyone is still waiting to know. In this next clip, a family who had been dealing with several nights of unexplained knocking finally made the mistake that so many paranormal experts warn people about. They opened the door. They didn't see anyone there, no footsteps, no cars parked outside, but ever since that moment, their normal days have looked nothing like normal. Watch this. First, you see the chair rocking, as if something was sitting there and deliberately trying to be noticed. But the moment the man reached out to stop it, something else in the room reacted, like whatever was inside that house was saying, if you stop me here, I'll just move somewhere else. And this is the exact pattern people online pointed out. Every time they try to interfere with one activity, another one starts up right behind them. It's like the presence in that house is trying to show dominance over the entire space. And judging by how effortlessly these objects move, and how quickly the activity escalates, whatever this is, it doesn't seem ready to leave anytime soon. On March 8th, 2023, Casey Lee was home with her family when her son suddenly ran out of the hallway, trying to get his dad's attention. He kept pointing, insisting that his father had to come see something. Watch.
International. That looks good though, dude. We gotta try that. Alright, start this video. Break the ice. We're gonna break the rice. Slow down, some of the rice. Oh, no, that's sick. That was insane. Boy, that's amazing. Wow. Dude. Okay, let's go. That's amazing. That feels so trippy too. Oh, doing crunches. Yeah. Down your oil. But I can't grab all these. I'm doing it. What? Oh, yeah. That's so satisfying. Yeah, that is. I like it. A ghost? A ghost? That looks amazing. Where? That took. Fuck that shit. So damn. Look at who? What ghost? It's in there. Oh, what's that? Go get him. No.
What does the ghost look like?
What's that?
Like that? Where is he?
In there.
And where?
In there.
Here?
Uh-huh.
Further? Is he here? In front of me? Over there? Where? Which way?
In there.
In that room?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going in there.
Why go see?
No, I don't know. I mean, you do whatever you want, bud. Want me to turn the light on in the hallway? Huh? There's no ghost in there? Not anymore because the light's on? Someone's going in there? It's a ghost? Is it a nice ghost? Friendly ghost? Oh, do what? Am I fighting him? Fight him?
Come here. Go.
I think we're good. Is it a big ghost or a little ghost?
Big ghost.
A big ghost?
Yeah.
Is it a boy ghost or a girl ghost?
Big ghost.
Big ghost.
In there. We're almost there.
The boy was way too focused for them not to take him seriously, and according to Casey, this isn't the first time he's claimed to see something that no one else noticed at first. One example she gave was from a few months earlier, when he told her there was someone sitting by the shoe rack. They brushed it off as imagination, until the motion-activated light by the rack flicked on by itself, followed by the sound of something shifting across the tiles, exactly where he had pointed. After that moment, they learned to stop doubting him so quickly, which is why this latest incident is starting to bother them more than they expected. Casey says that the very next day after this clip was recorded, both of their dogs started barking ferociously at the same corner of the house, right at the end of the hallway where her son kept staring. Whatever her son saw, the animals definitely sensed it too, but until Casey shares more updates, this case remains completely unsolved.